Hello everyone, I'm sorry for being absent from this channel for a while, but today's video is going to show you how we're revitalizing everything here. One of the biggest drawbacks I had for this channel was my camera equipment. As all of you noticed, the colors were washed, the ISOs were oversaturated with light, we were having all kinds of mixing issues, blending issues whenever I build computers, and we are going to fix that today. So today's video is going to be an unboxing. I know that's typically boring, but I'm going to be talking about how it's going to be useful for what I do. Keep in mind, I've already opened one box of these bad boys, and that's what's filming this. Let's get into it. Bing, bada, boom. The Lumix S5IIX. Maybe I should mirror this top to bottom, but I think you can open everything upside down. I can figure this out. Anyway, we've gone with camera defaults. The colors are a little washed right now. I'm going to try to fix that in post, but who knows? I am just using an Elgato cam link for this. I'll talk more about that in a bit. You do have technically other options, but I wanted 4K, and even if it's only 30 frames per second, cinematic movies are 24, so I think you'll be okay. Got some documentation here. You can register your camera. That's cool. Okay. And if I was a regular unboxer, which I won't be, I would say, oh, well, you can tell really here that they used some sustainable materials in making a box. Cardboard, important information, box contents. So all this is laid out pretty well. I like that the box contents are on the box themselves, inside the box. That's helpful. We're going to start with everything else first. Get a box of goody goods. Open this up. Also, I strapped onto myself the camera. Where are we at? Back to opening. All right, we have a little box here. This is going to be your lens cover. Not cover, just a lens attachment for blocking out light. This is going to be your lens. Nothing else in this little box, just some nice foam. Now you don't want to lose these covers. You need these for if and when you're switching lenses. I did buy other lenses, but they are waiting for me to be picked up at Best Buy. So not today, not in today's video. Hang in there, friends, we'll get it. All right, so that answers what this one is. We're gonna just leave that open right here. Now, why this camera? Well, you'll see by the size. I'll compare it to my old one in just 1 second. But there's the camera itself. It is bigger than my old camera, but there's a reason for that largeness. So this is my old one, Sony a6000. You'll see the lens especially. I would love for Panasonic to make a smaller lens. Just a nice little prime. That's it. Just one prime. But the depth of field and the flexibility of the standard lens is quite good. I believe it's a 20 to 60. Pretty good for near field stuff and for medium range stuff as well. But you'll also notice that the sensor is much bigger here. That's because this is a full frame sensor instead of just a micro four thirds. So we're going to be able to capture a lot more content on on a single lens than I would, or rather in the field of view than I would in a micro four thirds. That also will give me some anamorphic options to do some ultra widescreen stuff and panoramics, stuff like that, which could be cool. But more importantly, this bad boy shoots in 4K 60, and not only does it shoot in 4K 60, it has a fan inside of it that will cool it off and allow you to shoot in 4K 60 and up to, I think they said like 40 degrees Celsius for infinitum, just as long as you have space on your memory card or your SSD. So you can record to an SSD. Some people are like, why would you want that feature? Memory cards are not fast enough. Okay, they can't control. They can't do up to the speeds you need to do 6K or 8K footage. They can't do it. So you can just plug in a USB drive here. You'll probably get the SanDisk Extreme Pro. And I might get like a little attachment for it when I'm out and about. So I'm going to be using this. One of the big reasons I wanted to get these is for my spouse is doing a big retreat workshop over in France later this year, and I wanted to be able to record the whole thing so she could parse it out, use it for ad material or just sharing with the students so they could see what she had. I'll bring this one up so you can see it on this camera. The screen rotates 180 degrees and back, so you can have it facing that way. You can see it if you're vlogging. You can also have it face down 90 degrees if you're shooting down at something. So typically you want to shoot that like this. So that's an option that you do have. Let's go ahead and attach the lens. For that, you'll need to depress this button. Rotate the lens cover off. Grab the next lens cover, or the lens rather. Slide it into place. Hold that button. Twist it until it locks into place. And bing, bada, boom, you're off to the races, ready to go. Now, the feel is great. It fits my hand really well, as you can see here. 3 fingers around, 1 finger for shooting. So I feel like I have a good grab on it. I will be using some Peak Design equipment with this just to keep everything locked in. You can see I still have the dangles here for having my neck strap or my clutch wrist thing. It just did luckily I bought this camera just in time to get on the latest Kickstarter. Will be for a micro clutch, so you just like slide your fingers in and then it'll hold just your fingers. So this camera is just a 2-finger grab with a 1-finger rest underneath. So the 6000 series for Sony is still a decent option. It just was giving me rather terrible video quality. So that is what it is. And it could not shoot 4K 60 frames. And I did want 4K 60, especially for if I'm going to do like video game content or stuff like that. It's really helpful, but it just looks smooth and beautiful when you're doing it for your own content as well. And since my spouse hosts hers somewhere other than YouTube, you can get the whole ProRes OG beautiful content uploaded so people can see. And granted, most of the time you're not going to notice unless you're extreme pixel peeping for that, but that is just something. Now, I don't love having permanently fixed on straps. I think we're totally done here, so we're just going to dismiss this box from existence. Whee! Out of the camera. So, a few things with this. You do get this neck rest that straps onto here and here. Not for me. I don't love these. I'm going to use a Peak Design one because I don't always want one on. Sometimes I just want to clip it and unclip it like this. Especially when I'm going to be using it notched up into my filming setup on my desk, which this one will be used for a different angle. Now you might be able to see from the side when I'm building or unboxing something. So that's going to be cool. The charger leaves a lot to be desired. Number one, it's a USB-C charger, but they give you an A to C cable. Don't look at me. Can't explain that one. So, bye to this. You can throw that far enough. But I won't be using this at all, if ever. So, know that that's a thing. Okay, so this is kind of a pain. You can't get this on over the cover. The cover is just a little bit too big, so you gotta remove the cover. That'll snap right on. You can replace the cover on here. It just sits on here a little awkwardly. So you gotta get it just right, and there you go. So that's how you can kind of store your camera, especially in your bag, backpack, however it might be. Some other external features here. You got your HDMI, full-size HDMI 8 out, USB-C. That's power as well as SSD, like I said. You can also do cool stuff like a tether using Ethernet and use the Lumix Tether app. The quality on that is not great, so that's why I'm using an Elgato Cam Link. It's also just really easy for me to pull in and out and to use between my spouse's and I setups, so we can just unattach these cameras. So one thing that I do use is the Peak Design tripods and the quick release mounts. So I just will move this quick release mount over to this camera, just like I've done for the one above, and then I just use a Swiss Arca mount to just slide in and out and tighten this down, and it holds the camera great. Even though it freaks me out, I know it's gonna be just fine. You can get extra batteries. These batteries are chunky. I had mine on yesterday messing around, doing video, a bunch of other things, and I was at like 60% battery after a couple of hours, so feeling pretty fly about that. Just slots in right here. Maybe we get that ASMR click. There you go. Okay, all the stuff that's on here though. Let's go through this. This is to view your pictures, light LVF, light view finder. I honestly don't know how this stuff on cameras does. I just need to record a video using this high-end stuff. So I'm going to be learning more about this camera as I go. I did watch, and shout out to Sam Holland, who runs a channel over in the UK, and does a lot of Lumix stuff. He has a great guide on how to set up the camera. I'll walk you through a lot of the features that it has on the digital menu. Not going to be doing that here. I'm just going to show off these. Display is going to change your display functions. You can set that to do different things. This is just your menu guide wheel that's going to allow you to navigate the menus. This is your autofocus. You can set this to, I forget what the letters stand for. I just remember that I want it on C. Watch his guide. This is your joystick. So instead of touching the screen, you can just use this to change where the autofocus is. Very convenient. I really like that. Autofocus on, autofocus off. This is your record for your video recording. This is to take your pictures. You can have two little scroll wheels, so you can have these do different things for you. Sam had me set this one to be my exposure. I really like that. And then for me, this is always going to be on movie mode, pretty much, unless I learn how to use a camera. That won't be today, folks. So just those are the things I'm using right away. You can also set it so you can manually focus the lens. It does work right here. Otherwise, this doesn't really do anything initially, but you can set it to allow you to do that. So you can get more of like a manual cinematographical control over your camera. That's pretty cool. And then you also have this manual zoom that you can use. We can even use that right here. In fact, I probably should have punched in on this video a little while ago. So, that's the camera. I like it. I think it's going to be great for our shoots, for our videos. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. Is there something you think I overlooked? Do you want to hear more? Oh, and then you have a mic function. One thing, it does have an input for a mic and output for headphones. So you can monitor while you're shooting someone else. You do also have a hot shoe up top, so you can attach a flash. Does not have a flash that comes with it, so if that's a deal breaker for you. The 6000 series is a little bit more consumer friendly in that regard, and that like you do already have a built-in flash. I love that these things come with like this cheapo hot shoe cover. Anyway, that is what it is. And then you also on the other side have a remote input over here. It does hold dual SD cards, so that's nice. You can have it do backup, so it writes the same thing to both. You can have it do one is just for photos, one is just for videos. So you have a few options with that. I really like the color scheme. It's all stealth black, so nothing is highlighted really except for the numbers on the lens itself. I really like that muted stuff. On the underneath side, this is another, if you have other attachments, you can connect those there. That sits on there pretty snug, so I'm not worried about that just flipping off, but that is something a lot of people will use for other attachments. Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up for this video. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. You excited as I? Are you as excited as I am? Let's go. Bye for now.